Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. XRP is an incredibly asymmetric bet relative to anything else that you could invest in that's not crypto, certainly, that will change lives. And for me, having now held XRP for over 4 years, having never sold a single XRP, I'll tell you from the very beginning, for me at least, XRP has had just the right amount of appeal. It's the risk to reward ratio is exactly what I found appropriate for me. And I understand. So the smaller the coin is in terms of market cap, if it takes off, the greater the returns could be. But even so, I haven't put hardly any money at all into small cap coins, even though admittedly some of them have resulted in life-changing wealth for people in the meantime. But you don't know which ones are going to take off to that degree and if they are going to win. And also, they're substantially more risky. There's all sorts of scam coins out there. Who knows if the technology is even sound? Is there going to be a hole in it somewhere that results in it going to zero? And so for a number of reasons, including thoughts along those lines, XRP, now proven to have worked for the better part of a decade, for me, that was the right bet because there was so little money in it back in 2017. And even today, yeah, there's more money in XRP, but still not that much, which can result in incredible returns if this market keeps moving in tandem and in the direction that we all think and hope that it will. And so there was this article from the Daily Hodl in which there's some comments from Dan Moorhead being covered. And he was talking about, specifically Bitcoin, but also the broader blockchain space. And I've always been a fan of Dan Moorhead. He's the guy that founded the first crypto hedge fund in the United States, Pantera Capital. And he had some thoughts on this, and it rings true to me. And so here's the headline from the Daily Hodl. Bitcoin is the most asymmetric trade in a generation, according to Pantera Capital's Dan Moorhead. Here's why. And by the way, Dan Moorhead, very pro XRP guy. So anyway, I want to run through this, talk a little bit about this, share some thoughts along the way, as well as share some opinions from some analysts in terms of what's been happening lately in crypto markets, so plenty to talk about. But I do want to be clear at the outset, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. We are seeing a bit of green today in crypto markets, so cool. I'll take that. I mean, I feel fine regardless, but market's up, market's down. As far as I'm concerned, it's just another day that ends with the letter Y, right? XRP's at 84 cents, Bitcoin at $49,355, market cap for the asset class $2.32 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 40.16%. And here's the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Yesterday, it was at 16 out of 100, indicating the markets was in extreme fear at the time. Now it's at 27 out of 100, indicating the market's in fear, but not extreme fear. And this is stupid. That's why I love highlighting this every single day when I'm making a video anyway, where I'm talking about price at least, because this is stupid. Who wants to live like this? It doesn't make any damn sense. Crypto is the most volatile asset class in the world. That's a known factor. It's been like that for 12 years. And when the market continues to do what it's been doing for 12 years, you're going to feel emotions over that? Or do you think really because you put money in that all the downward volatility, that was just going to stop? I just can't imagine living like this. It just doesn't even make logical sense. It really doesn't. Take a look at this from chart analyst Leb Crypto. I like this. He seems to have strong conviction on his thoughts on XRP specifically. And I'll pull up the chart that he shared here full screen in just a moment, but he wrote the following about XRP. One of my favorite charts, posted it almost 1.5 years ago. I haven't touched it. Are we towards the end of my 4-year consolidation theory and about to see my targets hit over the coming months in 2022? I'll need Bitcoin to stay greater than $35,000 on the monthly chart. And so here's the chart that he shared. So he's one of a few analysts that I've seen share this, it's at least a similar chart. It's this rounded bottom, which was basically this idea. Of course, you can see we're at the top here, so January 2018, and then entered the bear market, prices went down, but it's just been curving back up. And he's been talking about this for a long time, and he's not the only one. Chart analyst Dan Bessa, I've highlighted him sharing a very similar one, and I can't remember who else did. I could be mistaken. DIY Investing might have at some point shared a similar chart. I can't remember. There's definitely a third person, but either way, the point is, it's been following along quite nicely here. And he's anticipating still, certainly at least $10 this market cycle, but he is one of the analysts that does think it's more probable that XRP this market cycle is going to end up at its peak anyway, in the $20 to $30 range. Now, of course, when we say peak, don't forget that those peaks are typically rather short-lived. So when XRP got close to $4, it didn't hang out there long. So I'm not worried about trying to hit the top. I'm just going to scale out of my position as it goes up. But it's coming. So somebody asked him, somebody named Greg wrote, Love Crypto, so am I understanding this correctly, that you think within the next 2 to 3 months XRP could reach between $10 to $30 range? And Love Crypto wrote, in 2022. I have no time frame at the moment. Yeah, so it's kind of hard, even if you can see a market structure playing out just like it has in the past, it can give you an indication perhaps we're close to something, but in terms of nailing a time frame, it's kind of like a fool's errand. There's nobody that can consistently, accurately predict timelines for expected price movements. It's just, if the theory's right and it plays out, okay, yeah, so there's all sorts of individuals that are good at making such calls, but in terms of the timing of it, good luck nailing that. So he's just saying broadly, well, 2022. Maybe in the earlier portion of it, but still. And then there was this from DIY Investing. He actually shared a tweet from Charles Gasparino, Fox Business Network journalist. And it was a tweet where, here I can just read the part, there's actually a two-part tweet, but he wrote, SEC now arguing it has not officially declared Bitcoin and Ethereum compliant cryptos, according to testimony in the SEC versus Ripple case. That appears to be a 180 from not just Bill Hinman's speech, but the regulatory approach of former chair Jay Clayton. And Gary Gensler, he obviously refuses to comment on any specific cryptocurrency, even Bitcoin, right? Which is ridiculous. And so DIY Investing saw that tweet from Charles Gasparino, retweeted it, and wrote the following. And this is something that's been on my mind. Check out what he wrote. This is a prime example as to why I'm dumping all my crypto during the next pump. Regulation will destroy altcoins in the bear market, even if they make new all-time highs in the next cycle. Why hold through the uncertainty when you take profits and compound in the bear? So here's the concern that I've had, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do because I don't know what the SEC is going to do, but I am anticipating them heavily attacking crypto, and so seeing how things play out for Ripple and XRP holders specifically, that's going to impact where I put my actual real money, my new dollars, because I got to put them somewhere, right? I'm not just going to leave them actually as dollars. I got to invest in something, right? I don't like to keep so much actually liquid in terms of cash. But given that I think everything's going to get attacked, like what altcoin isn't a security as far as the SEC is concerned? So even though I'm very optimistic things will go well for XRP, like what's going to happen? What's going to happen in the coming years, especially during the bear market? It does make me a little bit nervous, which is why I'm thinking, honestly, the best move for me, I think, you guys do whatever you want. I'm not telling you to buy or sell or hold, but my plan is to scale out of, either 100% of my crypto positions or almost 100% of them. And then I'll feel a lot better because look, I can put that somewhere that I feel like invest in something else that I don't believe will be attacked by the SEC, something completely unrelated to crypto, and then I can still take on some risk. I mean, yeah, with the new dollars, I'll probably still buy in, but the degree to which I'll do that and which cryptos I might purchase will be heavily influenced by the degree to which the SEC ends up attacking the market. So I'm not sure, but that's why I hope you guys keep hanging out with me even through the bear market, because that still is where the most opportunity is. It's just with so many things up in the air, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I just have some general ideas, but I need to see how badly the SEC ends up attacking the space. But in terms of how much damage they're going to do while we're still at the tail end of this bull market, a little nervous. They could start attacking a bunch of stuff, and that can screw stuff up, but I'm still optimistic. They can only file so many legal complaints at once. They do have limited resources, even though they're part of the federal government. So given how close we are to the tail end of this, I'm anticipating everything's going to be fine, but there's no way to know. But isn't it just repulsive that we even have to talk about this, and actually consider this? Because they're ruining investment opportunities in the United States, and most of the rest of the world doesn't have these same hurdles. It's regrettable, let's say. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Michael Vandepop. The bottom is still in. Massive buying opportunities on altcoins this month. Q1 new crypto run and explosion. So he's been saying a lot of messages along those lines lately. He has strong conviction, but pretty much all the analysts that I follow are saying more or less the same thing. Not literally all of them, but yes, there seems to be strong conviction from these analysts that things are going to get better. This is an opportunity, and then people will in the future wish that they had just bought more now. Par for the course, right? That's typically how it goes. All right, now into this piece from the Daily Huddle. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Just so you can get a feel for who this guy is, it's worth just mentioning a couple things. And talking about Dan Morehead here. This is an article from August 8th of last year titled, XRP will be one of the few crypto assets to survive, says Pantera CEO, here's why. And I'm not going to read this whole thing, but there are a couple snippets, quotes from him that I do want to read. And so this is Dan Morehead, founder of Pantera Capital, the first crypto hedge fund in the United States. And here's part of a quote from him. Yeah, here we go. Because look, he sees a world where we don't need 13,000 cryptocurrencies, which I agree with. I don't know what the magic number is going to be, but here's what he thinks. He wrote, or he said rather, I see a world where we have 8 or 10 really important blockchains 10 years from now, and XRP is going to be one of them. Exactly. And so I've been saying this, as long as XRP continues to be useful, solves real problems for real people, that's value. People don't just throw away value. If something's valuable, it's going to stick around. So as long as I continue to see that, yes, which is part of why I started the video by talking about how XRP is an incredible asymmetrical bet relative to any other asset, in particular that's non-crypto, with the right risk-reward blend for me anyway, because I'm not as interested in these small cap coins. Yeah, I understand you could have put in $1,000 into Shiba Inu like a year ago or something like that, and then it would be worth over like what, billions of dollars. Like literally, I do mean that literally, by the way. It'd be like over $1 billion. I get stuff like that can happen, but you don't know which cryptocurrencies are going to run like that, and then the level of risk. You know, out of the 13,000 coins, nobody knows until it happens. And so that's why for me, I'm like, I'm going to stick with the large cap because fine, less multiplier effect opportunity, but my gosh, that's still life-changing wealth. Like insanely life-changing wealth. And especially if it's truly going to be around for a decade, most of these other coins, even if they're going to have better returns in the short term, they're going to go the way of the dodo, my favorite extinct avian creature. So who the hell cares? Like to me, the risk-reward ratio, like for XRP, it is just right. It is the sweet spot here. And Dan Morehead also said the following. This is again August of last year. I don't have the view a lot of people do in our space. Like there's only one and only true heaven, and it has to be whatever it is, Ether or Bitcoin or whatever it is. They do different things, and it's kind of like in the early 90s being a Yahoo maximalist. Yeah, Yahoo is good, but there were 30 really important companies, and a portfolio should have had a little bit of all those. And that's the way I feel about cryptocurrencies. Each one of the 8 or 10 that are going to exist in 10 years from now are going to do its own thing. And so, look, in a general sense, I do agree with that. I do. And there could be multiple coins doing the same thing, perhaps. Maybe there's a little bit of overlap. But still, you don't need a new form of money for every business idea out there. That's why when I think about the short-term freakouts people have with crypto, even though it's a known factor that crypto is very volatile and it's just doing the same thing it's done for 12 years, despite that, it's like all these freakouts, the truth is, there's life-changing wealth to be had for anybody that's in the space right now. If you play your cards right, invest in the right thing, have the right time frame in mind, don't freak out, don't respond emotionally, there's still opportunity. Yes, of course there's risk investing in anything, including crypto. Fine, of course, yes. But damn the opportunities there. For every single one of you listening to these words coming out of my stupid little Moon Lambo mouth right now, it's true, though. It really is. The everyday person absolutely can attain life-changing wealth. You don't have to be some sort of financial wizard, but there are certain things you need to be able to do, including controlling your emotions. And the truth is, I don't think most people are equipped to do that. I really don't. I think most people attempting to get into space would just end up getting wrecked. But that's why if you're going to be here, you need to be aware of these things. You can do it, and that's an empowering message, but you have to be aware of the risks. And the biggest risk is yourself as an emotional human. So into this piece now from the Daily Huddle. Asset management, this is the new one. Asset management company Pantera Capital's Dan Morehead is saying that Bitcoin is a better investment compared to bonds. In Pantera's latest blockchain letter, the firm's CEO explains why the flagship cryptocurrency is the most asymmetric trade in a generation. And check out this quote. And so look, what he's saying in a general sense is certainly true about Bitcoin and blockchain, but understand right now, as things sit today, where I'd maybe, part ways with this thought a little bit in terms of what Dan Morehead is saying, is just that the lower cap coins, if they're going to go, the asymmetrical return is much greater for them. And there's so much less money in XRP compared to Bitcoin right now that when it goes, you're going to get a much more tremendous multiplier effect. And so for me, again, like I keep saying, it's the sweet spot in terms of risk and reward. But here's a quote from Dan Morehead. I've spent my career looking for asymmetric trades, trades where the upside is many times the downside. Obviously, Bitcoin/blockchain is the most asymmetric trade in a generation. Bonds are the polar opposite. The potential upside is only a tiny fraction of the very real downside, end quote. Following the comments from the European Central Bank and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission that Bitcoin is a manipulated market and a historic bubble in the making, Morehead says that governments should instead look inward. And he slammed governments. Check this out. This is a quote. The biggest Ponzi scheme in history is the U.S. government and mortgage bond market. $33 trillion with a T dollars, all being driven by one non-economic actor with a dominant position who is trading based on material, non-public information. What a slam. Because you got to understand, when we're talking about quantitative easing, which is just the government printing more money, that's tantamount to a tax. It's the same. It has the same effect. So there's a number of ways that the government can have more money. They can just take it from you via an actual tax, or they can just print more, which decreases the value of the dollars that you have. And so they're just printing like crazy here. And it's like it seems to like not freak out citizens as much as if you're actually taking money out of their account like via an actual tax. And so they're getting away with it. You know, they certainly think about the trillions and trillions of dollars getting printed here. It's just like, where do you want to park your net worth? Like, what do you want to actually? Do you want to keep it in United States dollars? Because that's not going to work out. Inflation is freaking nuts. So where are you going to put it? You know, and diversification is important. Certainly, there's obviously stock market. You can buy some dirt. You know, get a house, get a condo, whatever. All these things make sense. But in terms of where to go for the asymmetric return, it's clearly crypto. And so that's why I sleep so easy knowing how much XRP I have. If I didn't have that, then I wouldn't be able to sleep easy. So I'm like the opposite of your typical cryptocurrency investor who just freaks out about everything. I freak out if I didn't have the position. You know, I'm the exact opposite of that. And I'm just going to sit here and wait, and I'm going to outpatient everyone else, and I think that my XRP will be worth a freaking fortune in the future. It's already worth way more than when I bought it. So I'm just going to wait. I'm simply going to wait. What an opportunity. This just truly is. Like, and that's why I hope you all can appreciate the time that we're in. Even if you just jumped into crypto and you feel like you're late to the party, you are not late to the party. You are very early. You're part of a small percentage of humans that know anything about crypto and have invested. Almost nobody's in this. And so it's very real to state that, XRP and other cryptocurrencies, I firmly believe it's going to be tremendously life-changing, even 12 years out from the inception of crypto. Absolutely. And so all this short-term fear is just stupid as far as I'm concerned. Dan Morehead's pretty well nailing it here. I'll wrap up. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.